Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blue Jay Acres. My name is Noelle, and today it is a what we're eating on a tight budget again. Some of you have asked about my husband's channel. This is his channel. This is our channel together. So once a week, we will try to have up a homesteading side of things too, so you guys can see what's going on with the animals. Typically, he'll film that though on the weekends because he does work during the week. But yeah, let's just go on and get into it. We are doing a brunch today and dinner. Brunch because we had to be out the door early this morning. We had a vet appointment to take one of our cats to the vet. So it's already 11 o'clock. We are gonna make pancakes this morning. I'm in hopes that Luke will eat again. And we're all hungry. So we're gonna do some pancakes, some scrambled eggs, and then we're gonna have a yummy, delicious dinner. I've got all that figured out. We're gonna make some dessert. So you don't want to miss it. Let's go on and jump into breakfast, and starting with the pancakes. Seriously, best pancakes ever. You guys need to try them if you haven't already. Okay, also real quick, I picked up my dairy, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I got 2 of the gallons of milk, or half gallons. I got a French cheddar cheese, a Amish country butter, and a American cheese. And that's it for the dairy this week. Okay, so now to start the pancakes, I'm going to make a double batch. So I'm going to use 2½ cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, about a teaspoon of salt, two tablespoons of sugar. Then I'm going to mix that all together. And then here I have some melted butter, and to that I'm going to add 2 eggs. It's probably about 1/4 cup of melted butter. I'm just going to kind of beat all this together. I'm going to add that to my batter, and then I'm going to add milk, about 2 cups. And just stir this all together. Pancakes are a nice, fast, and easy breakfast. A little more milk. Okay, and these are ready for the griddle. Okay, and then I have an abundance of eggs right now, so I am going to scramble up a bunch of eggs as well. So I'll just kind of turn it here. I've got 10 left in this dozen, so we'll use that right now. So right now we are getting 2 or more dozen a day of eggs. So we just have an abundance. Even though we sell about a dozen a day, that's still leaving us with pretty much a dozen a day. So I've got some built up. I have about 11 dozen in the house right now. The eggs are definitely in the menu. We also have about 20 eggs right now that we have in a hatcher and an incubator to hatch some. We have about 40 chickens currently, and we're going to swap some of them out. We're going to sell some of the older laying hens. We will sell some of our older laying hens. Make sure I don't have any shells in. These shells are breaking today. And we're going to trade those for the new hens that we're laying. That way we ensure that we get eggs all winter next year, and we don't run into the problem of no eggs being laid. Now some will say, well, why don't you just have them for food, for chicken? But I don't know, there are babies. We are raising certain ones for chicken, and that's different. These are my babies that, you know, we go out and take care of every day, and it's just different. They're our girls. So I want to give them a good home. So we will sell those. Let's go back over to pancakes. They are looking gorgeous. Cheesy scrambled egg. Someone also had commented, and a lot of you agreed, that I wasted a lot of carrots yesterday. So I just wanted to share, I'm going to turn this burner on over here, that with the carrots, I'll move you guys up, with the carrots, I purposely, I guess I should have stated that I purposely wanted, I gotta let this heat for a minute, I purposely wanted to let them have more of the carrot, because every day I give my animals a treat. I need to grab a plate. Every day I give them a treat. And I had already yesterday given the cows each a carrot, the pigs each an apple, and I had not given anything yet to the chickens. So we have 40 chickens, so I can't just give the teeniest, tiniest top of a carrot and a couple peels of like 6 carrots to 40 chickens. So I needed more so I could chop it up and take it out to them when it was time to take it out. Alright, I'm back to more pancakes. These are fluffy pancakes today. Alright, so this is breakfast then. It's cheesy scrambled eggs, oranges, and fluffy pancakes. I'm not going to have Charles do a taste test. I'm going to run this up to him because he's in the middle of a meeting, but you guys have seen him taste test the pancakes many a time. Some of you have made them even and agree that they're the best ever. So just make them if you haven't already. You won't be sorry, I promise. Alright, so now we're going to start dessert. I'm going to make a yellow cake, and then we're just going to do a chocolate buttercream icing on that. And then we need to start dinner. I fell asleep. It's been a lot of nights with no sleep, and so I crashed on the couch for a few minutes. So it is 3:15, and I'm running a little bit later than I wanted to, getting things done, but that's alright. Let's make this cake real quick. Alright, so first I started by preheating my oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to add a half a cup of butter. This is mostly melted. I meant to just get it soft, but it's mostly melted. Then we're going to add 1 1/3 cup of sugar. And we're going to beat this together so it's nice and creamed together. Then we're going to add 3 eggs, 1 at a time. Let me just scrape this down. bowl where you're gonna add our dry ingredients and mix those together real quick. I'm gonna do 2 cups of flour. A tablespoon of baking powder. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm just going to stir this all together. And then in a cup here, I have 1 cup of milk. We're going to alternate adding our flour mixture and our milk into our egg, butter, and sugar mixture. Okay, so now I'm going to get this going again. And I'm going to add some of my flour. Some of my milk. Some of my flour. Some of my milk. The rest of my flour. And then, so we're going to let this beat for about 2 minutes and then we're going to pour it into a dish. Alright, I'm going to spray my dish. Now if this was a fancier day, like say a birthday or something like that, then I would put this in 2 different round cake pans and stack them up. I'd ice them real pretty and all of that. But this is just an everyday weekday cake. So it's just going in a rectangular pan that I can just ice the top of it, and probably won't even do sprinkles or anything. Just ice the top of it and be done. So that's just how I do if it's not a special occasion type cake. It does take a lot more to trim it. When you put them in 2 rounds, you need to trim it so that they lay nice and then do all the icing. It takes a lot longer. So this is the way I like to do it for just an everyday cake. Now I'm just going to pour this into this that I just sprayed with the nonstick spray. Honey, I didn't touch it. I don't know where it is. No, that's... Oh, is that yours, Moms? Oh, alright, baby. You found it. And I'm going to pop this in the oven and bake it. Alright, so the cake just came out of the oven. Now I'm going to let that cool before I ice it. Alright, so tonight we're going to do kind of an Asian dinner. So we're going to make some pot stickers or dumplings, depending on what you want to call them. So we're going to start by making the dough. Okay, let me move my rag out of the way. We're going to start with 2 1/4 cups of flour. So dumpling wrappers are really easy. They're just flour, water, and salt, and that's it. We're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. We're just going to kind of stir this together, and we're going to start slowly adding our water. Someone asked if I had, oh, and in here I have about, what do I have, about 3/4 a cup, I guess, of warm water. Someone had asked if I own a crock pot, if I ever use a crock pot. If you guys have been with me a while, you know I definitely have a crock pot. Crock potting for me is more if we have a really busy day and I'm not going to get home until late, or in the summer. I crock pot a lot in the summer for sure. Because it is hot and we're busy doing stuff, and I try not to run the air as much as I can in the summer. Alright, I'm going to get in here. Somebody else asked about wearing a glove when I do meat and stuff. I don't do gloves because my hands break out with gloves, so I don't do them a lot. I'm just kneading this now for a few minutes. Now, if it's too dry, you just add a little more water. If it's too wet, you can add a little more flour. And we're gonna knead it for a few minutes, and we're gonna cover it and let it rest for 15 minutes. Then we'll come back and we'll knead it again for a few minutes and let it rest another 15 minutes. And then it will be ready to roll. Now I'm just gonna cover and let this rest for about 15 minutes. So if any of you are new and wondering, I am really bad about responding to comments, but I do read every single comment that you guys send me. I really do. But I'm really bad about responding because by the time I film all day and I'm busy taking care of my kids and doing stuff here on the farm, that the end of the day, I edit and I'm just wore out and I'm ready. I put the video up and I'm ready to just relax for the day. So that is why I have just a hard time. Sometimes I do get on and respond, but I do try to answer any questions that you guys have or address any major comments that you have. I always try to address them in the video. So I think I mentioned already that my husband will be doing the homesteading side of things on the weekends. So you'll see that early in the week because I have to find a day that I edit all of that for you. But you will see that. And yeah, I think that's everything. I think I'm caught up on the questions. I'm pretty sure if I have any other questions or you guys have them, just make sure you leave them down below for me. And I definitely try to answer all the questions that I can. Okay, so next, it's been 15 minutes. I'm just going to knead this a little bit more, a few times. Then we're gonna cover it for another 15 minutes. All right, now we'll just cover that back up. Okay, so now it is time to work with this dough. So all I'm gonna do is pinch it off into a bunch of little pieces. This should make about 35. So I'm gonna pinch it and put it in here, and then we're gonna cover it so that we can roll them out. And they won't dry out while we roll them out. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of cornstarch on the plate. And we're going to put that in between each one that we roll out. I'm going to flour my surface a little bit. On in here. I think I'm going to cut that in half actually. Then you're going to want to put this little bit of cornstarch, otherwise they're going to stick to each other. And I want it smaller. This is better. It's just the meat defrosting the rest of the way. Okay, so that's better. That's more the size that I want for a wrapper. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this on top. And I'm just going to continue to do this with all of them. All right, so I'm gonna finish this and then I will show you what we do next. Okay, next I'm gonna cut some of this cabbage. That's probably enough. And I just wanna cut it kind of thin. And make the filling for the dumplings. And normally you would do this with like a Napa cabbage, but I just have the green cabbage, so that's what I'm using. I did not go buy any produce yet this week, and I don't know if I see a really good box, I'll get one or two this weekend, but we really need to just kind of go through what we have. So I got my dairy, but I don't know that I'm going to get more produce. But I'll let you guys know if I do. So this is how much cabbage I got left. We'll use that for another recipe. And then I'm going to put this cabbage here in a bowl. I do have my rice going in my rice cooker already. And I'm going to add some salt to this. Now we're going to rinse the salt off, but I want the salt in to get some of the moisture out. So I'm going to let this just sit in some salt. And that should draw out some of that moisture. Okay, while we're waiting on the cabbage, we're gonna go on and make the quick buttercream. So I've just got some butter here, or you could use Crisco, shortening, you could use lard, something like that if you want. Measure, I just kind of do it. I'm gonna add some cocoa powder here, unsweetened. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. And I'm going to add powdered sugar. Oh, Lord. And then I'm just going to start that going. Something else I like to add that kind of takes it next level is a little bit, just a little almond extract. I'm also going to add just a little bit of milk. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of scrape it all down a little bit so it can continue to beat all those bits down. And we're going to beat it some more. Okay, again, I'm going to just scrape it all down. And go again. Okay. Now we're going to ice this cake real quick. And yes, you're going to hear a cat cry. Theo's been down with them a lot today. It is cold. Most of the cats want to be in the house. We do have 4 cats. We also always have cat drama. Somebody is always in trouble. We have one cat is in timeout. Cat timeout in the barn. You guys heard him crying the other day. That's because he got very aggressive. And so called the vet. He was the sweetest cat, and he got very aggressive, attacking all the other cats, jumped down the trees, attacking people. And the vet said it's just because he needed to be fixed, but she had an appointment to already be fixed. So then we got him fixed a little while ago. It's been, I don't know, maybe almost a week and a half maybe. She said it would take a month for his hormones to level out. So he is in a great big dog cage when the other cats are out, because he cannot be with them. If the other cats are inside, then he can roam. But we have neighbor cats that are so mean, and you know, she doesn't do anything with them. She doesn't feed them, she doesn't give them shots, she doesn't do anything. They're there to run free, and we treat them when they come and they're hurt. They eat with our cats, but they've gotten very aggressive as well. And she thinks it might be because Tilly went into heat before we were able to get her appointment. So she was in heat for a little bit before her appointment. And then she got fixed. So, I mean, that's over. But she said that it takes them a little while to calm down from that. So we tried to let him around the other kids the other cats the other day. And he went nuts and attacked them. But the mean cats from next door, I should have got it a little thinner because see, it's pulling up. The mean cats from next door attacked Simba, our old cat. And he has a huge cut on his ear that is getting infected. And so they keep ripping it open when he goes out and he fights. So he is inside because then it's all bloody, and we're trying to put, you know, antibiotic cream and stuff on it and get it better. So, he is at the door crying right now because he wants to go outside, but he's not allowed outside right now. Tilly, who got her second set of rabies shots today, she just wants to be in. And then she cries at the door because she wants to go out. And then she cries at the door because she wants to come back in. That is our cake. So you guys, that's the way it works here. We have the craziest animals on our farm. And I don't know if any of you guys that have farms have animals like ours that behave like ours. They're crazy. So our cats, that's our 4 cats, and they're crazy. That's how they always act. Somebody is always, they're so dramatic. There's so much drama with the cats. Our dog, she is good, but she is very protective of her environment. So she does not like anybody to come to our house ever. That's our drama with our dog. And then our chickens, you guys, one day I have to take you out because you see them when they're with Charles, but they're totally different with me because I'm the one that feeds them every day. I'm the one that brings them treats every day. The cows, the chickens, the pigs, everybody acts so crazy. So if I go outside, I think that's my husband just came back for some bedding for the bottom of the chicken coop. But when I go outside, if they hear my voice, the chickens go nuts. They run everywhere because they're ready. They know I've got some kind of treat. You walk in the barn and the pigs are going nuts. They've already learned about treats. The littlest one would jump right out of there if she could. The cows come running like crazy because they know they're gonna get treats. And Belle the other day was even playing tag and chase with the children. Up and down and up and down. She's running all over. I don't know, do other people's animals act like that? Because I haven't seen that. We watch other homesteading shows and I haven't seen them act like that, but we got the craziest animals for sure. All right, let's get back to dinner because this is gonna be a long video anyway. Let's get back to dinner. Now the cake is done and now we need to strain this cabbage because that should be good and, you know, watered, all the water coming out. Okay, so next I'm gonna just kind of wring this. Still not a lot of moisture's coming out. I would have expected more. There is definitely some. So I'm gonna go rinse this first and then I'm gonna wring it all out. Okay, so here it is. I just put it through my nut bag and squeezed out all the water that I could. Okay, next I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic, A little bit of chicken bouillon powder. A little soy sauce. A little sesame oil. A little bit of sugar. A little bit of salt. Some ground pork. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch. Okay, and then we're just going to stir this all together. It's easiest again always to just get in with your hands. Then I'm going to take a wrapper, add a little bit of the filling to the middle. Then we're going to water down the edges. That might be a little bit much filling. Pinch it. I'm not a pro at these yet. Then you just kind of fold it and fold it. And there is a dumpling. Like I said, I'm not a pro. I'm still learning. We've only made these a handful of times, but they are very, very good. So I'm just going to assemble them and set them all down.
So I got a text on that hay round. You can meet me at 9 tomorrow morning.
Okay, now on a medium-high heat, I'm going to heat some oil in a pan. I'm just using olive oil. Okay, and then I'm going to put my dumplings in here. Like I'm going to make 2 different pans of them. I don't want to overcrowd it too much, so I think I'll just use that many. And once that's heated up enough, I'm going to add a half a cup of water. I'm going to cover it and let it steam until the water runs out, and then these dumplings will be cooked through. Now I do have a little bit of this pork left over, so I'm just going to use that to whip up some kind of like little egg roll in a bowl kind of thing or something like that tomorrow for like a quick little lunch. So I'll just put that in the fridge. Okay, you can hear that starting to sizzle. I'm going to add half a cup of water, and I'm going to cover this. And we're going to let this just go until there's no more water in the bottom. It just all steams out. Okay, so while that's cooking, we're also going to make some salmon tonight. So I'm going to melt some butter in this pan up here in the front. We're going to let that melt. Okay, so I'm going to add these beautiful looking fillets here. They have string on them. I'll just leave that. We'll pick it off when we eat it. I'm gonna add these to this pan. Now, I had gotten these a while ago at Flash Foods. So they're $9.61 and $9.74. I'd gotten them for half off. So I got a really good deal. And I'm gonna add salt and pepper to these. We're gonna make an orange glaze to go with these. That'll be really good. And over here, this is definitely starting to, water's almost boiled out. So give that just a few more minutes and then we'll do the next batch of those as well. So we're gonna let these just cook for a little while and then we'll flip them, let them cook a little bit more. Okay, now these are done. The bottom is nice and brown. Trying to get them out. Some are sticking. Okay, while all that's cooking, we're gonna mix up a dipping sauce for the pot stickers or the dumplings. I'm just using some rice vinegar, some soy sauce, a little bit of honey, some ginger, some garlic powder, and some green onions. I'm just going to stir this all together. And I'm gonna microwave it just a little, just to get that honey to blend in better. Okay, while our salmon is finishing up, and I also have some green beans defrosting in the microwave, some frozen green beans, we're gonna make the orange sauce that's gonna go in with the salmon. And I chose this because we still have plenty of oranges. So we're going to take the juice of one orange, and pour that into our bowl. I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of honey. About 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a teaspoon of cornstarch. I'm doing just, well, all right, a teaspoon of cornstarch. I was gonna do a hair bit less, but I didn't. And some minced garlic. I'm just gonna stir this together, and then we're gonna go back over to our salmon. These are so thick that I did cover them a little bit just to try and get them to cook all the way through. Now, salmon should be cooked through to 145 degrees. This one is not all the way cooked through. So I got a couple of them still not all the way cooked through, so we're gonna leave them go a little bit longer in here. Okay, so now the salmon is cooked through. I'm gonna remove it from the pan. We're gonna add it back in just a few minutes, but all this butter and bits we're gonna leave in here. And we're gonna add our orange sauce. And this should thicken up really quick. So I'm gonna just go on and turn the heat off because it should thicken that fast. And voila, you can see that's already like a beautiful thick sauce. So I'm going to put our salmon back in it. And then I'm just going to spoon some over the top, or you can toss it in it, however you want to do it. I guess turning it's probably easier. So it gets good and coated. Beautiful. All right, you guys, so here it is. This is like our take on Takeout, except for I made it. So here is our dumplings and the sauce, the orange, salmon, green beans, rice, and a cake. All right, I'm gonna get Charles down to try it all for you guys. All right, so here is Charles' fancy plate. Made it fancy like a restaurant. You ready?
I am ready. Do I get to be the Simon Cowell of your...
Of my fancy restaurant food?
Fancy restaurant food? Yes.
Yes. But this costs about a fraction. I don't know, at least a fourth of what it would cost to go to a restaurant. You're supposed to dip it in the sauce. You see that sauce?
To try one without sauce first.
Did you see that sauce sitting right there? That's called a dipping sauce.
I gotta tell you, they're pretty darn good without sauce.
They're very good. I already cheated and had some tasting of that. I haven't tried the salmon yet, or the cake.
My
I just
taste
tried the
buds are
dumplings.
like jumping out of my mouth. That's so good.
Yay! All right, with the sauce.
The sauce is really good.
But you like it plain?
But, I mean, they're fantastic plain too.
Now when you eat the salmon, it has a little netting around because it was like big fillet pieces. So it came with netting around, so just know there's netting right there.
Thought maybe it was just a hairnet, you know.
No heavens.
Lunch lady land.
Well, you're having a very hard time. You was just supposed to take the netting off.
Well, it's easier said than done when you just have a fork. It's elastic netting. That's wild. It doesn't look restaurant quality.
No, now it doesn't. You ruined it. But I guess they don't leave the netting on at the restaurant either. So that's a bonus you get at home. Extra netting with your food. How's the salmon?
That's really good. Except for the bite with the green bean on the bottom.
You can eat the green beans.
It's good and flaky.
All right.
Let me try.
Cake.
Let me get that salmon taste.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was say you need a glass of water just to empty your palate. I don't know. You have water everywhere all over this house. But in the kitchen right now.
That's better than a box mix.
Good, I hope so.
I already knew the chocolate icing was
Yeah,
good.
everybody's been loving the chocolate. There's nothing as good as chocolate icing from scratch.
I'm digging around the house looking for a
Spatula.
rubber spatula so I can scrape the bowl clean. This is good.
Good.
Let's go eat.
We are. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give a big thumbs up, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you tomorrow for another what we're eating on a tight budget and how I feed my family on under $500 a month. Bye, everybody. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.